How's it going, everybody? I'm just out here in the bush. This is a new little series thing I'm starting called Things I Wish I Knew in My Teens and Early 20s. I'm 33 now and I wasted a lot of my life in drugs and partying and doing all that sort of stuff. So I never had a father or people around me who were successful or came from successful families. We were all just a bunch of broken kids who ran the streets together. It took me until I was 29 to realize that there was another way to live life. So it'll be an ongoing series. This is just part one. All right, so one of the first things is don't give in to peer pressures. All right, the people around you are always going to try and pressure you into doing what the group does, and that's okay at times to participate, but don't do things that are going to go outside of your knowledge of who you are to create destructive behavior habits. Like a lot of my ones was I got peer pressured into doing drugs, smoking weed and taking ecstasy because that's what everyone around me was doing, and I got peer pressured into fighting a lot. So I always was getting in trouble with the police and hurting people. And this is one massive thing that I wish I knew and understood, was that you don't have to give in to peer pressure. You don't have to do what your group does or what your friends do to feel accepted. If they love you, they'll accept you whether you say yes or no. You don't have to go against them and put them down or judge them for what they're doing. But just a simple like, nah, I'm not into that, guys. I'm just gonna stay out of it. But you guys go have fun. All right, second, I think this is a very important one as well, is like figure out what you want to do and be by 35 and start instantly working towards it. One thing I wish I knew when I was 16 was what I wanted to be when I was 35. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, because for some reason, every time I finished like year 10 and finished year 12 and I was 18, I was just like, oh, I can't believe I've made it here. I didn't have any ambitions or plans or anything until I was 29 years old. And I've only been working the last probably year or so to try and better myself. And I was working for 5 years to break the bad behavior patterns that I built by giving into too much peer pressure and the need of acceptance. So figure out what you want to do by 35. Write a plan. You want to have a house, you want to have traveled some countries, figure out how much money you need to go do it. When you're young, you can just stay in hostels and shit like that. It's all good. You can travel, you can experience a lot of things. But again, when you're out and about and you're conquering yourself and your life, then again, don't give in to your peer pressure, because it might stray you off the path what you want at 35. And you want to kind of be at 35 because you're kind of hitting your midlife. Once you hit sort of 40, 43, you're about midlife there, that you want to have been able to settle down so you can enjoy your life, your family, your things like that. All right, the third one I'm going to touch on today is find a side hustle and boom, delve into that shit like a motherfucker. Not everyone is going to be able to make YouTube videos or be an Instagram superstar. Most of us are going to have to go and work a normal job, whether it's you work like I do, like 6:30 to 2:30. Sometimes I go 6:30 to 5:30, depending on what we need to do. But you want to find a side hustle outside of your job while you're planning for your life to be at 35. It can be anything. It can be starting a small clothing brand, it could be doing drop shipping, it can be doing e-commerce. What I do at the moment is I have deals with the Sparkies on sites. Any electrical cables they throw in the bins, I'm allowed to take out of the bins and recycle myself. So I've gained about $560. I got a haul to actually do today in the last month or so, just from scrapping the cables at the job site. I get good money on data cable because a good scrapper place will give you $2 a kilo for it. But the one I go to, it depends. He might be like $1.20, $1.50. Sometimes I go in with like 200 kilos and he hooks me up. So find yourself a side hustle to supplement income and use that money to save. All right, the next one. Don't chase women, chase your dreams. A big one, all right, for young men. You're going to want to get the pretty girls. You're going to want to get the pussy. It's understandable. You're a young man. But, chasing that and making your life built around getting women or building yourself in a way that is going to attract women is not going to be authentic to who you are. All right, nobody in the world is an actual womanizer. It usually comes from places inside of yourself. It usually comes from places inside of yourself where these things tend to come from. It's not like, you know, you didn't feel worthy enough as a child, or you were peer pressured by your brothers or your dad to, you know, go out there and have sex by 15. Like, you don't have to have sex by 15. You don't have to chase women. The better thing to do is chase your dreams. The more you chase your dreams, the more of the high quality women are going to chase you, because they're going to see that you're focused, you're motivated, you're a leader, you take the direction and you push yourself forward. You put yourself in some uncomfortable situations and you say no to things that most people say yes to, because you've got somewhere where you want to be at 35 years old, and you can't be doing this dumb shit in order to get there. So don't chase women, chase your dreams instead. The women will chase you, chasing your dreams, and you can help them achieve their dreams. You might motivate them or inspire them in other ways that other people haven't. And the last one for today's video, or the last two things for today's video, two things I really wish I knew when I was younger, especially early 20s, is like, put a woman's needs before your wants. Now, this doesn't always just go to your missus. This can be your mother, this can be your sister, it can be your grandma. Like, putting these women's needs in front of what you want is going to make them feel valued, and they're going to put back a lot more into you, because they're going to realize that you truly are being thoughtful and caring and thinking of them before yourself. Your wants you can always get whenever you want to get them, but needs is a completely different thing. And a woman's needs is what makes her a good woman. If you take care of her needs for her, she'll usually take care of what she wants for herself. But what she needs, like direction, support, love, to be cherished, nourished, all these types of things, to be heard and listened to and to not be judged, is like extremely important to have strong relationships with females. And as a male, you want to have strong, healthy relationships with females, especially like your family, your mothers, your sisters, your aunties, your grandmas, your cousins. You know, you want to have these as strong relationships, because this is going to be the foundation of you having a strong relationship with a woman whenever you get one. And the very last for this part one is going to be like, do not do hard drugs. So ecstasy, speed, meth, cocaine, MDMA, 2CB, 2CE, acid, all this type of shit you want to just stay completely away from, right? If you do want to delve into things, I'm big on like only natural things. So marijuana and mushies are the only two things that I do, because hard drugs is only going to lead you to a life of depression and despair. It's a temporary fix to us. It's a temporary solution to something you need to permanently fix, right? It's going to take you out of your shit feeling in the moment, but it's going to fill your mind and brain with fake chemical signals, because what drugs do is they connect parts of your brain that aren't usually connected, and then that alters the way that your brain absorbs information and processes the information. It won't process it in the normal way. Why a lot of people fuck out on hard drugs is because their brain isn't naturally processing the information that it's absorbing, because, you know, as the light comes from the sun and it reflects off the surface of everything, all those tiny light particles go into your eye connects directly to your brain, and then your brain starts to 3D render so you can see everything clearly around you, right? When you have drugs and you take hard drugs, the processes of how that happens become altered, because multiple parts of your brain that aren't usually so connected become connected, and you can have your brain flooded with synthetic chemicals, right, that act like dopamines and endorphins and all this stuff that makes you feel good about yourself, gives you confidence and charisma, might make you violent, a better lover, whatever it is. You can achieve all that inside your own brain with strict mental training and strict, vigorous rewiring of your neural pathways through physical actions. So that's part one today for things I wish I knew and understood when I was in my teens and early 20s. And I hope you guys can take some of that and apply it to your own lives. God bless and much love, peace and safety.